Thank you again for coming all the way over here to come and spend some time with my family as we all get to know you. And the fact that you're even willing and able to cook is just the most amazing thing for everyone here. We are all oh so looking forward to what you'll have ready for us by the time lunch starts.
And thank you as well, Gabriella. It was so kind of you to invite me out here to finally come see the parents of the young woman my son is so very in love with. I've also been having a very fun time with you cooking all these dishes, and I hope you all really do look forward to eating what I've made for you all today. Actually, I really am thankful that you let me help cook this time. It's helped me calm my nerves a little bit, considering that this is my first time being over at your guys' house and first time seeing you in person.
Yes, no worries. I had to make sure you could cook since you come from a moneyless family. But it brings me great joy to see that you can, in fact, work with higher quality foods. I mean, I was almost certain that a lot of the appliances in here would be too high-tech for you to understand. Huh? Did you have a good look around my kitchen? It's outstanding, right? We make sure to have all of the most up-to-date cooking appliances in it so that all our meals are prepared the best. And when you had a chance to look inside our refrigerator, you got to see all our perfect meats and produce, right? We only allow foods that come directly from the sources they are gathered from. And yes, that does mean that a lot of our food is imported, but we're willing to pay that extra price for such delicious ingredients. And when it comes to all my storage in the kitchen, well, as you can see, I make sure that it is all well managed so that I never forget where something is. But of course, this is all possible because of my husband having so many restaurants under his company's name, right?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that you really put a lot of your time into your kitchen, Gabriella, and I hope that you weren't too nervous letting me handle some of those appliances of yours.
I could never begin to imagine the kind of kitchen you must have had to work in most of the time back at your home. I'm sure that there aren't nearly the amount of appliances we have in there, and most of your food is probably frozen and disgusting, right? Oh, I just can't see myself ever having to cook in a place like that, lol. Do you guys even clean it out at all, or is most of the leftover foods from last year still sitting around in there, lol?
Well, no, not really. As for myself, I'm pretty busy with other things, so I never really have the time to work in my kitchen anyway. Nobody's really home anymore either, so that's another reason for not really cooking in there.
Oh, are you like those poor people that never stop working hard and laborious jobs? Well, that must be so tiring for you indeed, lol. I guess that means you force yourself and your son to eat out all the time then? Fast food? That must be so hard on your guys' health, right? Lol. Unlike you all, my family never really has to work hard, so I'm not really able to understand what you guys have to go through.
Well, anyway, before everything we've made up today starts to get cold, let's bring it out to the dining table and get to eating. I'm sure that even Sam and Millie's stomachs are beginning to hurt as we speak.
Good point, but listen, I just had a quick glance at the food you ended up cooking for today. Have you made sure to measure the amount of salt you put into this dish properly?
The amount of salt in it?
It seems that you put quite the emphasis on salt in your dish, using things like soy sauce in it, as well as table salt. Are you sure that this dish isn't too salty?
Well, of course I didn't use a huge amount in that dish. Please excuse me, but I added just the appropriate amount of salt I thought was needed as I went along making that dish.
Well, if you haven't measured the amount of sodium properly in your dish, then what would happen to you if perhaps my husband or daughter's health went downhill due to your dish? Well, this is all very unfortunate. I suppose I was better off not asking you to help cook with me.
But when I had asked you for a spoon to measure out the amount of soy sauce I was putting in my dish, you told me you didn't want me touching any of your silverware.
Is that right? So now you're going to make up more excuses for this? Well, for now, I'm going to have to toss all of this in the trash. You're fine with that, right?
Wait, what? You're going to throw away the perfectly good food I just cooked?
That's right. I can't let anyone eat this food when we have no idea what's all inside it. Ah, and this all has to happen while my family and yours are saying they're so hungry. Now we're going to have to go back and cook everything from scratch.
I was really doing my best to make sure that everything was properly balanced out in that dish, including the salt. And I have confidence that that dish is perfectly safe for eating.
Huh? Don't make me laugh, lol. I know that moneyless people like yourself never bother to think about making your dishes healthy or not. You guys love to consume your salts, and that's why you all end up being so large, lol.
That is not the case in my family.
Go and throw all that food out for me, please. That should be all right with you, right? Ugh. Perhaps we should just go out to eat instead today. I'm going to bring the car out for everyone, so you follow behind us, okay?
Huh? You're okay with me coming along with you all as well?
Well, you did come today to talk with my family about the marriage of your son and my daughter that's coming up really soon, right? And so far, we all haven't really had the time to talk with you and get to know you more, lol. So when we get to the restaurant, we can all sit down and have plenty of time to talk to one another.
Do you really not know who the hell she is? Right now, Laura is the #1 supporter of my company and has been for a very, very long time.
Huh? Are you sure about that? I never heard a thing about that from someone like you or anyone else.
I know for a fact that I've spoken with you before about how Laura has put a lot of money into my company, but I guess you never listened to what I said to you at all back then. And before we even begin to talk more about what she's done for my company, we need to talk about how you've been treating her. It doesn't even matter if she's considered below or above us. The way you've been trying to offend her is not okay.
When you say that she's given a lot to your company, what do you mean?
Like myself, Laura works within the food service business too, and we're both considered top of our class in this industry. And when she learned about how I was starting all sorts of businesses in fine dining across the U.S., she began to invest in my company, making sure that I was able to get as many restaurants going as possible.
Huh.
And not only has she been investing in my company, but she herself owns plenty of restaurants, ranging from places that specialize in pizza to places that do sushi. She has really been doing it all in this industry and has made sure that my company does just as well as hers with her support. I can't even raise a finger to her because of how much she's given me. And now you've started to pick on her? What the hell is wrong with you?
But nobody ever told me anything about this, so I had no clue she had that kind of power. I guess I may have heard something like this from you, but I never imagined that the person you were talking about was Laura. All right, I'm going to come back in there right now and have the waiter take back her order and get her a course meal as well.
I've already made sure to order her a proper course here, so you don't have to come back in here. Actually, I'm not going to allow you back in here.
Gabriella, you're telling me that Mike is divorcing you? I knew that Mike was a man of his company and his employees. He must really want me to see that he does care more about our partnership rather than whatever he had with you, lol.
Stop thinking about it like that. He's telling me he wants me gone so that he can focus on his work full-time. That's not okay, right? Don't you feel bad that I'm going to lose my husband because of his selfish behaviors?
I don't feel bad for you at all. I think what he's chosen to do is the right thing and the perfect way of handling the cards he's been dealt. And also, Mike has been a dear friend of mine and a good business partner for a very long time, Gabriella. To be blunt, he really does care a whole lot about his work, but he cares even more about the people he employs and the customers he has. He is such a powerful man for being that way.
And as his wife, I know all of that better than anyone else.
You do? Well, I guess you know about everything besides who his biggest supporter is and what project he's in the middle of working on, right?
And when it comes to those two things, I happen to just forget about them. Now, go call my husband and tell him that you will get your son to continue the project and then have him cancel the divorce.
Are you sure you feel sorry about what you did to me? Because this all seems like anything but you feeling sorry about what you did to me. I have no idea what's made you think you deserve everything in this world at the cost of others.
Well, that's because you don't know the first thing about higher-class people like me.
Oh, I do understand people like you though, Gabriella. Now, I'm going to call Mike and let him know what both my son and I have been thinking about that project for you.
Huh? Really?
Yes, really. And this is all going to be about your divorce from Mike, okay?
Huh?
I'll make sure that he will no longer have to worry about a thing and can get right back to focusing on his company and his customers. I think Sam will be fine with all of this as well.
Hold on a moment. Why are you trying to bully me now? If I have to leave my husband for good, I'll seriously be all on my own in this world without anyone to help me. Even Millie is telling me that she'll never speak to me again after the divorce.
I am not going to forget about how you sat there in front of my own son making fun of the person I am. I worked so dang hard to raise my son into the man he is today and had to sacrifice a lot to get him here. As a single parent, I had to balance work and parenting to make sure both needs were met. And hearing from you that I failed to raise him properly and to have a proper job, I am not going to let you get away with crap like that around me.
You witch!
lowest, not a single person was willing to lend her a hand. She had burned too many bridges, and all that remained was the cold reality of being left to fend for herself. Eventually, with nowhere else to go, Gabriella had no choice but to return to her hometown, a place she had once looked down on with disdain. Ironically, the very place she had been so eager to leave behind was now her only refuge. With no viable options, she found herself working as a pig farmer alongside a long-forgotten uncle she hadn't spoken to in years. It was a dirty, grueling job, a far cry from the glamorous lifestyle she once enjoyed. But with no skills, no qualifications, and no one willing to help her, she was left with no alternative. Her pride was shattered as she was forced to live the very life she had once mocked, a life of hard labor and simplicity. As for me, Gabriella never attempted to contact me again. Whether it was due to her wounded pride or simply because she was too ashamed, I never heard from her after that final exchange. I still remember the absurd offer I made to her, telling her I would get her French fries whenever she needed them. It had been a sarcastic jab at her condescending attitude, and maybe she knew it. Perhaps she was too humiliated to ever face me again. Either way, her silence was a welcome relief. I had no interest in hearing from her ever again. Meanwhile, Millie and Sam were finally able to enjoy the happiness they deserved. Their wedding was a beautiful and joyful event, free of Gabriella's drama and toxicity. With her mother out of the picture, Millie was able to celebrate her new beginning without any lingering shadows from her past. The two of them were now living together in a luxurious penthouse downtown, where they were excited to start their own family. It was a fresh chapter for both of them, one filled with love, stability, and the promise of a bright future. On the business front, the project that Sam had been leading on my company's end with Mike was finally back on track. With Gabriella gone, Mike was like a new man. It was as if a massive weight had been lifted off his shoulders. The stress and exhaustion that had once plagued him seemed to have vanished. Instead, he was filled with a renewed sense of energy and passion for his work. The man I had known for years, the one who had been driven, enthusiastic, and full of life, was back. It was clear that ridding himself of Gabriella's selfish, manipulative presence had given him a second wind, both personally and professionally. It was almost comical how drastically Mike's demeanor had changed. After years of seeing him dragged down by Gabriella's constant demands and negativity, it was refreshing to watch him rediscover his love for life. He was more animated in meetings, more engaged with his team, and visibly more optimistic about the future. The toxic fog that had surrounded him was gone, and in its place was the sharp, focused, and determined businessman I had always respected. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.